Fenton is with me. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Please, remain comfortable. Now, you're the executive director of the Bitcoin Foundation, which is an advocacy group for the currency. First and foremost, do you believe that man I just showed, Craig, whatever his name is the man?
I don't think there's enough information to say yet.
Hang on, you've read the blog?
Yes.
And he's given his cryptography address, a signature.
Right.
And he's given all the ways in which he did it.
Yes.
So why do you doubt?
Well, the signature that he gave is not conclusive proof. And there's a lot of bright cryptographers, a lot smarter than me, who've looked at that and they don't believe it. Some believe it, most, I would say, don't right now. The other compelling piece of evidence was a couple other experts have met him and talked to him. One is Gavin Andresen, who is one of the early and prominent developers in Bitcoin, met him, and he is convinced. So that speaks volumes to me, but still not enough to convince me personally.
Is there a way conclusively to prove it?
Probably not ever a way to conclusively prove it because of the nature of Bitcoin, because someone could always be hacked. But there are other transactions he could do that would definitely give me and probably almost everybody in the industry pretty high degree of confidence.
Right. I mean, I do not understand it. I'm not going to sit here and feign intelligence on this when I've got no knowledge of how Bitcoin works, other than the fact it does work. But I was reading that Satoshi Nakamoto, there are ways in which he could send something out with the signature of Satoshi on it that would lead people to say, yep, you're the man.
Yes, there's this same, basically an early block that Bitcoin that are pretty much known to be owned by Satoshi. If he sent something publicly in the future, said he's going to do it tomorrow or something like that, that would be helpful.
Why would he not? Why would he not do something conclusive?
You'd have to ask him. I mean, it's there could be that, there could be reasons. There's rumors that it's in a trust. There's tax implications, things like that. It could be a hoax.
What's the significance, other than prurient interest, of this man who may have created something that we really, that has to some extent got everybody befuddled and somewhat scratching their heads? What's the significance of knowing who it is? Because you were telling me earlier that actually it doesn't really matter if he is the real man.
Yeah, that's the great news about Bitcoin is Bitcoin is basically the world's best ledger. It's a statement of truth that says who owns what. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter who created it. It doesn't matter if they're a good person or a bad person or what their motives were, because that statement of truth is a statement of truth. And that's not going to change. And that's the real powerful thing about Bitcoin is this very, very solid ledger, probably the best ledger the world has ever seen.
Bruce, do you believe that the Bitcoin reputation has improved ever since Mt. Gox, and then we had Silk Road, and then just about every form of terrorism, drug dealing, prostitution, you name the nefarious activity, right, and somebody suggests it's being funded via Bitcoin.
Sure.
Do you believe its reputation is improving at all?
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely true. All of those things are funded by Bitcoin. It wouldn't be much of a currency if it wasn't used for those things. Just as the US dollar is used way, way, way more than Bitcoin to fund those things.
Yeah, oh, come on. Oh, no. Hang on a second. I've got to jump in here. The US dollar may be used like that, but there are restrictions on dollar trading, which, as you move dollars through the system, would eventually show how much is being used.
Right.
Money laundering.
But in terms of percentage, there's way more that's being used in US dollar. There was one branch of HSBC that had a comparable amount to all the Bitcoin traded in a year, that they were trading with cartels and things. So any good currency is going to be used for things that some people may consider to be bad or maybe actually bad.
Good to see you, sir.
Great. Thank you.